Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's here at the end of February and it is time to plan out our meals for the month of March. A couple of things going through my mind as I'm thinking about planning out our menu. I keep a running grocery list like all throughout the month of stuff that I need, for the next month. And there's quite a few like household things and some toiletries on there. And so I'm going to keep our meals pretty simple ingredients so that I can stay in budget for those household items and toiletries. And then also I need to put in an Azure standard order for our pasta that I like to get. And also I really need to go to Costco. So those two things are like extra. So I'm going to keep it really simple. I've decided that I need 26 meals for the month of March with just how the calendar fell and some stuff that we have going on. So I'm going to get to it. I will show you the meals that we didn't get to this month, which I just add right back to the top of my list for next month because I already have the stuff. And then we will get to planning some simple ingredient meals for March. Here is how February turned out. We didn't get to this one, steaks on the grill. The weather just did not cooperate. This one we're having real soon here. We did not get to this one. This one I have planned for the next day or two, and then we didn't get to this one. So steaks on the grill, chicken fajita casserole, and chicken bacon broccoli pasta will just go right to the top of my March list because I already have everything I need for that. We didn't do the freezer soup either or the buffalo chicken sloppy joes, so those will get added. Let's see, planning on using this one. We just made this one the other night. Whoops. So that gets crossed off. I used up all the ingredients for that. Everything else is pretty standard. Could probably do some pancakes, and we didn't get to the no-bake cookies, so we'll do those here to get us through the next couple of breakfasts until I shop here at the end of the week. I thought I would show you how I set up my meal planner. I use an Erin Condren. This is just a regular notebook. I used to use the one that had the calendar in it, but I don't plan out my meals like that. Like I don't write it on the calendar. I just take a look at my week, see what we have going on, and choose meals from this master list. So this is just an Erin Condren notebook. The first half of it actually is my budget notebook, and I switched this year to the A5 size. And I do really like it. It's a smaller size, but I still have plenty of room to fit everything. Then I'm just writing in those meals left over from last month. All right, I was in a time crunch, so that might have been the fastest that I have ever planned out my meals. So, like I said, keeping it simple and trying to use up stuff that I already have on hand. And really just want to keep my grocery budget kind of low so that I have that margin to be able to do Costco to stock up on some stuff and to be able to place that Azure standard order for our pasta, which I buy it in bulk, like 10 pounds at a time. So it's like $75. It's always about $100 when I order from there, just with the stuff that I get. Okay, so I showed you the 3 things that carry over from February. We are going to have taco soup. This is a really old family recipe. I got this when I was living and working in Tennessee from one of my coworkers actually. And we have continued to make it for years and years and years, probably 20 years at this point. I've continued to make that. I'm also going to be bringing that to one of our small group families who had surgery, so gonna be doubling up on that and bringing that. We are doing pork enchiladas. I have some canned pulled pork that I had done, and I haven't tried a can of it yet, and I thought that would be a good use for it. I already have tortillas in the freezer. I already have green enchilada sauce. I even already have the cheese, even though I will be getting more cheese. And then I'll just probably mix it with a little bit, some green chilies and some of the green enchilada sauce, maybe even some cream cheese in the middle, and that's what I'll use to roll up the pork enchiladas. On the side, I usually just put like tortilla chips with it and like a fruit. Since it is March, we are going to be doing corned beef and cabbage. We all really like that. I just have a crock pot recipe that I use that's very simple. It just has the corned beef and potatoes. I start the corned beef a couple hours before I add the potatoes and the cabbage, and I add the cabbage at the end. Good old plain spaghetti. We're going to be having fried walleye. I still have some walleye, which walleye is a fish. It's my favorite fish, actually. It's very, very mild. And our neighbor, actually, we had back in the summer, kept an eye on his place for him while he was ironically away fishing, and then he gave us some walleye. So delicious. Let me flip you around and show you the list now. Okay, talked about that. Hot dog chili bake. This is just a really simple low carb one. I use low carb tortilla wraps, and then I do canned hot dog chili, cheese, very simple. Ham and bean soup. I have everything that I need to make this. I've got some navy beans I want to use up. I have ham in the freezer. And then I'm also going to be adding I want to use up canned greens that we just don't really like plain, but I think they'll be fine in soup. So just going to kind of make that one up. Buffalo chicken sloppy joes. I didn't get to that for lunch this month because I actually ran out of celery and I feel like it really needs the celery. So we will be doing that for a dinner. Tater tot casserole, that's just a family favorite. We always have that. Oh, which reminds me, I need to write I failed to write cream of chicken on my Aldi list. Everything else, I did write the tater tots down. Everything else I already have. Crock pot barbecue chicken. It's exactly like it sounds. It's just like a pulled barbecue chicken. And then we'll probably put like cornbread and green beans with it. Turkey meatballs. I already have the turkey in the freezer for this. And I will either do spaghetti or some other kind of pasta and a veggie on the side. Korean beef bowl. Very easy. You just make up this Korean beef sauce. You could do it with like stew meat or something. I just do it with ground beef and then you put it over rice. Mississippi pot roast. I have a lot of chuck roasts in my freezer, which is really only a winter thing for us. So I wanted to get one more pot roast in before the weather starts turning and we don't really feel like it anymore. Instant Pot chicken burrito bowl. I've shared this recipe many times. Beef stroganoff. Super simple. You basically just need ground beef, cream and mushroom soup, and sour cream. Homemade mac and cheese. I will either do the Instapot or I will actually make my own cheese sauce and do the whole thing. Not sure yet. Probably depending upon time for that night. All right, last few ones here. We have chicken tacos. I just throw we call it crock pot chicken. It's like the really cheap chicken. That in our opinion doesn't really taste very good, like when you bake it or whatever. Really needs the crock pot. I just throw that in the crock pot with some salsa and some taco seasoning. Makes a delicious chicken taco. Cheeseburger soup. I have everything that I need actually to already make this. And I even have like canned potatoes, which makes it super simple and come together really quickly. Tuscan chicken. This is a Trim Healthy Mama recipe that I have adapted. I think it calls for like sun-dried tomatoes and stuff, but I don't ever have sun-dried tomatoes, and honestly I don't know if my family would even like sun-dried tomatoes. So I actually have some spinach in the freezer that I need to use up as well. So we'll be doing Tuscan chicken, and I usually put it over, make it into like a pasta dish and mix pasta all in it. Tikka masala. I have, I think, one more thing of tikka masala sauce, and then I will need to add that to my Thrive Market list for next time. I use the sauce packet and then a can of coconut milk to like make like a thinner sauce so it goes a little farther. Sheet pan, sausage sheet pan dinner. Ooh, say that one, that one's hard. I'm going to be getting some sausage from Sam's Club, and it's exactly like it sounds. I'll probably put Brussels sprouts and potatoes and maybe some carrots. I don't really like baked carrots though. Steamed carrots are delicious. Baked carrots are very weird to me. I've since I was a child, I do not like, they get really sweet or something. I don't know. But you put all the veggies you're going to put down on the bottom, and then you lay the sausage on top and cook it all together. It's very simple. Good grub. I have shared that one many times before. It sounds super weird, but it's very delicious. We all really like it. And then beef pot pie. Again, this is like a recipe that we only have in the winter. And I still have some lard that I want to use up in the fridge. So, and I also have like one teeny tiny little pack of stew meat, which is not really enough to like do beef tips, or probably even in a stew it wouldn't be that much. So I think that little pack would be perfect for a beef pot pie. I will just cook it ahead of time, and probably I might even have some, I always save my French dip au jus like in the freezer, so that would be delicious with it. I could probably just mix it all together, make a pot pie, and call it good. All right, super quickly, these I just keep lunch options, and then just kind of rotate through them. I just make sure that I have everything that I need for all of these, which actually I just remembered I need cucumbers for the pasta salad. So as long as I have everything I need for this, then any day during lunch we can do this. We have leftovers a lot for lunch as well. And then the only sides or snacks that I write down right here are actual recipes that I need to make sure I have the ingredients for. So sides, we always have veggies. So that's just a given, veggies and fruit. Same thing for snacks, unless I have to actually make it, like homemade granola bars or something, I'm not writing it down here. So I need to make buns for the sloppy joes, cornbread, sourdough. I got this really good recipe. If I can remember, I'll type it out in the description box. But we went to friend's house for the Super Bowl, and she made this really delicious, it's like beefy onion rice. That's the only way I can describe it, but she made it in her Instapot, and it was delicious. All of us really liked it. It was very flavorful. Mexican rice, that usually goes with chicken fajita casserole, because that doesn't have any type of carbs in it or whatever for the kids. And then sour cream mashed potatoes. These are just like next level mashed potatoes. And I want to make sure I have all the ingredients in case I want to make them with the Mississippi pot roast. Still need to come up with a couple of more breakfast ideas. And then desserts, I just want to make sure that I buy some more brownie mix, because I'm going to be sending that with the taco soup for the meal that I'm bringing to the family. And then lemon cake, I already have this. I want to get it used up, and I have strawberries in the freezer. So then I just need to make sure that I have stuff to make whipped cream, which I already wrote on my list. All right, I feel like I rushed through that, but there's nothing that you haven't already seen before probably. I really just tried to do some really simple meals. And as always, I will link everything down below, because I find that helpful when I go to a video. If the recipe is linked, I find that very helpful. That way I can easily save it. So as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.